Okay, so this is a follow-up to one of my previous videos, and as you've noticed from the title, this is about Fleetway Supersonic. I know you just got back to making videos after just recently getting yourself together after your whole situation with those other two YouTubers harassing you, but nonetheless, now I think is as good a time as any to make this. If you've seen my previous video, you'll know that there was an incident that occurred where I was upset that she wouldn't be including Brandy, Lycan, and Metal Sonic in her redone story of Multiverse Sonic. I eventually admitted it was wrong for me to do that and that she would not accept my apology, so I tried leaving her alone for about a month and hoped that after giving her some space, she would forgive me. But I, of course, was an absolute fool to think that she would. Let's just say my apology to her didn't turn out the way I hoped. She has gone too far now. I may have been a bit upset when you didn't accept my apology, but now you've officially crossed the line. I've told you that I was letting that character bullshit go. I sincerely apologize to you, and this is how you treat me? By not letting me live it down and saying that my behavior is pathetic and laughable, with no qualms about it at all. I admitted my faults and tried to own up to them. The only reason why I responded like that was because of how sadistic you were to me. So basically, a few months ago, I sent her another message in response to her irrational criticism, and the first thing she said to me was absolutely vulgar. I absolutely cannot believe she would condone saying something like that without even thinking twice. She and her friends have stated that she is a nice, caring person capable of empathy and forgiveness. Well, your friends might want to rephrase that statement, because telling somebody to go jack off to werewolf porn and calling them a cockwaffle, yeah, that's the nicest thing you could say to someone, don't you think? Not only that, but you have also been slandering and gaslighting me as well. You are using my callouts as evidence so you can turn everyone against me, and you have also been accusing me of stalking your blog and YouTube channel. Yes, I did comment there a few times after you called me out and bullied me, but I was not stalking you. I was just trying to calmly ask if we could talk this over and reconcile. I only typed that twice because I didn't get a response, and sometimes YouTube removes my comments. As for your blog on Tumblr, it's the same damn case. I did type up a message there, and yes, I was chastising you after last time when you scorned and belittled me. I only typed that up after I read your scathing response, and I was still upset when I typed that up. Yes, I did type it up again, but that was because Tumblr kept taking down my comments, and I had no idea whatsoever that you did receive them. After I made one mistake in your conversation, you were nothing but passive aggressive towards me, and you sounding all upset like I was too caught up in my own problems to even care about your story, and then all of a sudden making fun of me for it, and you off the wall stated that begging you to include Brandy and Metal was disgusting is flat out proof of passive aggressiveness. Of course, not to mention that you kept shrugging off all blame aside from your end and pinned everything on me instead of admitting your faults. You said I misinterpreted you bullying me, and you said on your profile that you don't condone bullying. I wouldn't want to scrape your chalk or anything, but After the way you treated me, that statement is honestly funny coming from you. It's funny, but I'm not laughing. You even admitted to laughing at me, and you said it without any regret. So don't talk to me about bullying, 'cause that right there is the full goddamn definition of bullying. And I know a bully when I see one. You rudely rebuff my apologies and scorn me as if you have the right to do so. What I also don't get is when you stated for two reasons why you were laughing at me. First, you said you were laughing at me because of me acting like a child over stupid characters, which I called you out on in response, and afterwards, you completely alter your previous statement and say that you were laughing at me because of my so-called outlandish reactions to your criticisms. Whatever one of those you meant to say is no worse than the other. You're so you're so inconsistent with your reactions. You seem to have a big issue when I said you were acting irrational. Again, you had you had it all mixed up. It wasn't because of you wanting to end a it wasn't because of you wanting to end a conversation. What was really irrational was one, when you refused to accept my apology after I said I was sincerely sorry. Two, when you began scorning me over what I was initially upset about instead of letting me live it down. Three, when you insulted me with such vulgar statements when I said nothing of the sort to you. And and four, disrespecting my artwork straight up hurting my feelings. With all that explained, to say my reactions to your criticism is outlandish is completely bullshit. I had every reason to respond the way I did. Your criticisms are the ones that are outlandish, not mine. You say that your responses were natural, acting all upset and making someone feel bad to the point that you make them want to apologize, and then just completely altering your mood to to statistically scoffing them over a mistake they regret is anything but natural. Now, I like to add in that I used to feel exactly how you did. Back when I was in school and there would be stupid jerks who would piss me off to the point where I wouldn't want to talk to them again, but in that case, there would be times when I had no choice. Sometimes I would be forced to say sorry when I really didn't want to, and same for work. When you work at the same place as this person, there will be times when either a teacher or boss would have me and that person work together on whatever task, despite how much me and that person didn't get along. They've also taught me to forgive people and let bygones be bygones, and that everyone deserves a second chance. I have also I also now have become friends with some of these people who used to piss me off after bonding with them for some time, either by being told to work with them or we just both simply matured and that person just stopped teasing me. I also can't help but notice that you also said that you had a natural response for someone who feels threatened or uncomfortable. Like, where the fuck did this come from? One, I never threatened you, and you know that. And two, you never said anything about being uncomfortable, at least not then. You were simply pretending, if not actually doing so, to be upset about me supposedly not caring about your story that you were so passionate about, and then suddenly changed your mood and laughed at me later instead of forgiving me. Another thing you mentioned, which is completely bullshit, is when you said that you've seen toddlers take punishments better than me. Like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Of course, toddlers would take a punishment better because they know their punishments aren't permanent. And how exactly is this a punishment? It's more of rebuffing or just simply pushing someone away. And that statement is also funny coming from you, although again, I'm not laughing. You say you've seen toddlers handle shit better than me. Listen to you. I'm not the one who screams on the top of my lungs when recording a response video like you did with the whole Mansion Master situation. You're like 9 to 10 years older than me. You act more like a child than me. Despite how deeply you cut me with your insults, even even I didn't stem up to that level. And don't blame me for bringing up Mansion Master. I know you want to forget about him and move on, but hey, you brought that on yourself. Besides, after everything you said to me, it's only fair that I bring him up. Also, just so you know, I actually stood up for you. When the whole situation was still going on, I told that prick to get a life and leave you alone. And there's much better shit to do than slandering people on the internet. Of course, he gave me an immature insult in response, but I simply ignored him. So, you're welcome. Don't make me regret doing that for you. Also, what concerns me is that when you did insult me, you responded in the DM section so that only I can see it, which leaves me to believe that you're hiding everything bad on your part, and the public part are in the public part are trying to pull all the blame on me. Like seriously, you need therapy. I was simply trying to reconcile with you so that we could just have a friendly conversation, and I don't want to be seen as someone to glare at or punch or turn your back on whenever you see or hear from me or mention from someone else. Is it such a crime to ask for forgiveness from you? Is not being in your most hated people on your most hated people list so much to ask for? It's honestly foolish for you to ask it's honestly foolish for me to ask for forgiveness at this point, but I'm making this because this all needs to be heard. I can't keep this to myself anymore. I need to let this out so it can help me feel better. Although although I'm not asking for forgiveness anymore, I would still greatly appreciate it if you did. I wish you'd allow us to talk this out as mature adults and let us have a normal conversation again in a way where neither of us is pissed off at each other or insulting one another or cussing each other out. And it would also be swell if you apologize for the hurtful stuff you said to me. I've already apologized to you numerous times, so it's only fair that you do the same in return. If you make an angry video in response to this, I honestly won't be fazed by anything, cause what more can you say to me that you haven't already said? At this point, I'd also actually be surprised if you are as forgiving and willing to admit your mistakes as you and your friends say you are. And if possible, prove me wrong, and show me that you are capable of that, and I shall apologize for chastising you. Prove me wrong if you can. And no more bitching me out. Like seriously. I don't deserve that.